Hello YouTubers, good morning and welcome to the Virginia Bushcrafter. This is the channel where we learn and we practice bushcrafting, prepping, and survival skills. So guys, I am in a new location that I have never been in before. However, I did scout the area out yesterday. So what I am going to build today, as you know, the four components are basically shelter, water, food, and fire. So today, I am going to build a four-man or four-person tarp shelter. And I got this idea from Dave on Really Big Monkey 1. However, I will do it just a little different. So let me pull out my equipment and we are going to get started. All right guys, this is going to be a 5-part tarp shelter. The first part is the ridge line. So if you notice here, there is a ridge line that is above my head from one tree to the other tree. And then there are two other ridge lines on both sides of me at tree level, at my shoulder level. So I have 3 ridge lines. So here's a ridge line, here's a ridge line, and here's a ridge line. 3 ridge lines. So I am going to complete these ridge lines by using 4 prusik knots. That would be part number 1. Part number 2 is adding a tarp on the right side, on this portion. Number 3 will add a tarp on this portion. Number 4, a tarp goes over here. And number 5 will be a close-in tarp. So let me just put the prusik knots on and we will go from there. All right guys, the ridge lines are complete. Prusik knot here. A prusik knot here. A prusik knot here. And a prusik knot here. So guys, that is step number 1. Step number 2, we'll be adding this large tarp. Hey guys, I want to show you that part number 2 is complete. And part number 2 would be sufficient even if it were to rain. This is basically a lean-to. You can see where I have the prusik knot here, carabiner, 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 and another prusik knot. And here is what it looks like from the outside. So this is part 2. I am getting ready to complete part 3. All right, guys, you are looking at, excuse me, at step number 3. That is a 9 by 12 tarp. So I have completed steps 1, 2, and 3. But let me just take you inside so far. This is the inside. Now, as you can see, that I can walk between the 2 lean-tos. Here's an outside look. Here's a look. Left side, right side. And here's a view from the other end. It is time for step 4, the covering. And step 4 is complete. I want to give you guys a good look at it. This is from the outside. Here again, here's a lean-to in the blue, a 9 by 12 tarp. On the other side, where the ridge line is step number 1. Step number 2 is the lean-to on the right side. Step number 3 is the lean-to on the left side. Step number 4 is the roof. Now, the benefit of this is it will easily house or accommodate 4 individuals. If you notice now that I am walking in the shelter. Shoulder length here, shoulder length here. Now it is going to rain, but I will be protected by the roof. As you can see, I'm down below. You can see the roof there. And you can hear the raindrops. So, I am going to get all of my stuff and bring it inside my shelter and have a meal. But guys, this is the reason I highly suggest you learn and practice. I have 1 step left, and that is going to be putting in a back door. So I'm going to get this done before the rain comes in and get right back with you. Well guys, I have brought all of my gear in. It is starting to rain. And again, I don't think I could have picked a better day to demonstrate this at a minimum, a tarp that will hold 4, I'm going to say maybe six people comfortably. But here's all of my stuff I have brought in. But again, one of the advantages is that as you can see, you can look out and see the ground, but here is the roof. So when it rains, I can actually stand up here and get a nice breeze. Now, step number 5, I chose not to utilize because it is warm, and this Mylar emergency grabber blanket was going to be the door. But what I forgot is that I need 2 of them instead of 1. That door would cover all of this. Now, if it was winter time, I would be concerned, but I am not concerned because it's summertime. But here's a very good look. And as you can see, it is so dark in there. You can see the other side here, that I am having to use light in this shelter. So I'm going to get organized. I'm going to build me a twig fire, cook some food, and get back with you. But guys, here again is why I say learn and practice bushcrafting, prepping, and survival skills. Now, I studied this shelter a lot. And again, what confused me were the knots. So I had to improvise. Nevertheless, the shelter is built. Now, I can show you some imperfections. As you notice, this part of the roof is not at the edge of the tarp, but that is okay for my first time. And this part of the roof extends over the tarps. So that's fine, but this is a good look at it from a distance. And I am basically trying this out because there will be some nights that I will actually sleep in it. And it is very, again, it is very, very roomy. So I'm going to get my shovel. I'm going to clear out some leaves. I have some plastic bags. I'll put the leaves in the plastic bags and use that to lie on. But that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get started. Well, guys, the rain is coming down. It's getting a little heavier. But this is one of the benefits of this shelter. Let me just step out really quickly. As you can see here, I have my solar battery packs still getting charged up here. But one thing about this shelter, and here's where the carabiners come in handy, you can hang things from them. Here I have just some things to go around my bedroll. A light, another light with another light. Water bottle, the mask to my hatchet, first aid kit. Well, guys, this is a look from the outside. You can see how the rain will not get on me. So what I'm getting ready to do is use this twig stove. I'm going to make some nuggets out of this wood over here and prepare me a meal. And this is all of my gear I have brought inside to keep out of the rain. Wow, but standing here, the breeze really feels good. And the good thing about it, I have just enough headroom. I mean, this is just great. But this is why I say get out in the bush and practice. Because when I come out here next time and make this shelter, some of the issues I had, I won't have them again. So this is a good practice run. I'm going to go ahead and prepare me a meal. And I'll show you how that's done in the rain. But I will actually be inside of my shelter. fuel, twigs to make a fire. And as you can hear, guys, the rain is coming down, but I am well protected. Beautiful scenery out there. And it's much cooler when I stand up. Much cooler. But it's time to make a fire. Okay guys, as we know, fire is one of the essence of bushcrafting. Fire is going to purify our water. It is going to provide us with security, comfort, serenity, and it's going to allow us to cook. So I am getting ready to make me a fire under my shelter, and let's just do it. Let me put you in focus. And there we have a fire started with birch bark. So I'm going to start putting my twigs in. And as you can see, that's the fire that started from birch bark. Alright, I'm going to get this going, put some water on, and I'm going to be good to go. I'll be right back with you. And that is the twig stove in action, boiling water for my mashed potatoes. So it's just a matter of keeping the twigs going. And this is done at the edge of the shelter. Well, the mashed potatoes are finished, and you can see the fire is burning down, and I have more than sufficient wood for my coffee. So guys, this is actually practicing in the bush. And the mashed potatoes taste just as it says, baby red mashed potatoes. And it's raining. I'm right at the edge of my shelter. May be here longer than I anticipated, but hey, that's the fun part. So I'll see you guys at coffee time. And now preparing water for coffee. So guys, here you can see that you can have a fire in a shelter as long as it's small enough and your shelter is large enough. I even could have a shelter somewhere in this, have a fire in this shelter in this area. But today I'm just out here practicing. I wanted to try it out. It's working well. So I'm just going to continue to prepare me some coffee, and then I'll just sit back and reflect. and see what I could have done to improve or do anything better. But this is really a lot of fun, guys. This is just being in the bush practicing. Well, guys, I'm still in my tarp. Just finished eating. I'm drinking some coffee. I'm sure you can hear the rain, but as you can see, the rain is running off the roof. I'm just gonna go out here and wow, it's a lot cooler out here, but you can see how it works. Every so often I get some water that drops there, which can be a good rain catchment system, but you can see how it operates. Very efficient. So the rain is coming down, and I'm out here just testing, practicing. Here's my meal that I'm just letting the rain get to my dishes. And my little twig stove has gone out. I'm finished eating. But this is, again, part of bushcrafting. And a lot of people will ask, what does bushcrafting really consist of? Well, again, shelter, trying to be careful not to burn myself, as I somewhat knocked over my little firebox. But as you can see here, I'll just move that out the way. But again, bushcrafting, you shelter, starting with the clothes you have on, according to the weather, whether it's a tarp, tent, or debris shelter, or just a pile of leaves. You need a shelter, and you must have water. You must have the water. You must have the food and a fire. Now also, when you're going into the bush, you want to be considerate of where you set your camp up. You want to be careful of the site selection. You don't want to be on a wildlife game trail. You don't want to be near widowmakers. You want to be near water. You want to be cognizant of the wind, and you want to make sure there is plenty of wood. And you want to have the proper tools. I used a shovel, a saw, a knife, and a larger knife. Now this knife is a Condor Mountain Pass Camp knife. Condor Mountain Pass Camp knife. I don't see much of it on the internet. I've only seen it on there twice, but if you guys see it, I would like to hear what you have to say about it, because I can't find much on it, but it performs wonderfully. So you want to have the proper tools. Another thing, you want to be careful to not get into a survival situation if you can help it. You don't want to ignore the signs of the weather. Well, I know it's going to be raining here, but there's no flooding or anything like that. But you want to be cognizant of the weather. You don't want to ignore nature and get caught into a survival mode. But if you do get caught into a survival mode, the first thing is to remain calm. Remain calm. Keep your bearings together. Do not become despondent or anything like that because you're in a survival situation. You want to make sure that you protect yourself. You don't want to step in a hole and twist your ankle or cut yourself or anything like that. And you want to think to yourself, are you at a very good location where you can draw attention for someone to come and rescue, a search and rescue team? You may have to move, but you want to have some type of signal, orange bandana, red bandana, emergency 5x7 grabber tarp, something of that nature that you can draw attention to a search and rescue team. So you want to be careful when you're going out by yourself. Move slowly. There's no need to rush or anything like that. So those are just some of the survival things to be conscious of. But I think one of the most important things is when you leave your home, that you know exactly where you're going. I came to this location yesterday. I scouted it out, so I knew exactly where I was going. But you want to use a compass and a map. I used a compass yesterday, and to my surprise, I'm getting much better at it because I have a GPS system. And when I turned it on, my batteries usually last 3 months. I had 1 bar, and it was in and out. But I followed my compass. I came back to my vehicle. I did it again to go in a straight line, looking at the bearings and the azimuths and so forth. Went out about 300 yards, came back. So it's just a matter of learning. But you want to know exactly where you're going before you leave your residence, because bushcrafting is not hiking. You're going to an area to enjoy yourself and basically enjoy nature. So that's one good thing about bushcrafting. You know, you're always going to run into some things that don't work right. Like I said, I saw this idea from Dave and Nick on Really Big Monkey 1, and there's some things I had to do differently. Now I really thought 4 guys could fit in here comfortably, or 4 persons, but I really think maybe 6 to 8 guys could fit in here comfortably, because I'm using tarps that are 9 by 12. 2 of them are lean-tos and 1 go right over the another ridge line. So this is the fun part. You know, I always pross more than enough wood. So it's all about learning, connecting with nature. I mean, sitting here listening to the rain hit the tarp, knowing that I can use this as a water catchment system as well. I mean, it's really it's a lot of fun, and it's, you know, it's a great hobby. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the bushcrafting, you know, the 5 W's, and of course you got the 10 C's, you know, your cutting tool, combustion, coverage, your candle, which is your headlight. There are 10 of them. Cotton for your your bandana or your shamag, you know, cargo tape, gorilla tape, you know, things like that. Combustibles, something to start a fire with. So yeah, study the 10 C's, study the 5 W's, you know, and there's always the 3-minute rule. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. But I think you'll be very, very uncomfortable doing so. But yeah, those are some of the things you just want to study, and, you know, just get out in nature, have some fun, you know. So I'm just going to sit back and relax and reflect, and wait for it to stop raining before I pack up, and just think about the things that I will do next time to improve it. I think what I want to improve upon is putting the shelter up much quicker. In particular, using the knots. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy all of this nature and the rain, and I'm gonna see you in a little bit. Hey guys, I want to just tell you one other thing about the tools. I just mentioned the tools that I use, but I did not mention the hatchet. For me, the hatchet is probably the tool I would not want to do without. It's a matter of preference, but I always will make sure that I have a hatchet, a full tang knife, and a saw, as well as a backup knife for carving and so forth. Shovel as well for just cleaning out the area or making fire pits. So again guys, let me know the tools that you would not want to be without. Well guys, my objective has been completed. Today, I wanted to focus on making a shelter that would house as many as 6 people. However, by using tarps that are 9 by 12, I am sure this would house 8 people comfortably. Now again, this shelter is made up of 3 tarps. This one tarp is basically a lean-to shelter. Lean-to shelter. This tarp again, a lean-to shelter. They are both basically shoulder length for me. Now the third tarp is considered the roof. That roof allowed me to stay in the tarp while it was raining. Now, what I learned about this shelter is that, of course, when you're at the bottom, it's a lot warmer, but you can feel the coolness in the opening. You can also make you a water catchment system. When I was in the tarp, in the shelter, I could hear the water roll down onto the second tarp. Now this roof is basically tied out here to a tree. All 4 corners are as such. So guys, I just wanted to come out here and experiment with making a different shelter. I am getting ready to disassemble it and pack it up, and I will see you as I am heading out. Again, here is the inside. And here are carabiners that you can hang items from, such as lights, first aid kit, etc. So I'm going to see you on my way out of the shelter. Hey YouTubers, well, I am back in my car. Just as soon as I started to take down the last two lean-to debris shelters, it poured down rain. So I guess I won't be getting any squirrel hunting in, but it poured down rain just as I was disassembling the shelter. But with that said, guys, I want to say I made my objective. It was enjoyable. I'm looking forward to doing it again. I learned a lot from that experience. And I just want to say, guys, like father and son, mother and daughter, human and nature, we are all akin in some form or fashion. Get out in the bush and have some fun. This is the Virginia Bushcrafter. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.